What's up, Coach?
Go ahead.
How'd it go trying to kind of juggle Doak in and out of the lineup there?
Well, you know, he had a bad first foul when one of our guards put him in a bad position. And not saying it's, you know, all the guards' fault, but Doak can't, that's not his game. And I thought he actually did okay. I think he lost some aggressiveness when he got in foul trouble defensively and didn't rebound the ball like he was. But overall, I mean, it's very obvious we're not the same team with him not in the game. We need him in the game, and we, you know, I thought we could play Trishan at the 5, and that didn't work out. So we were just out there. That lineup that played without him for 12 minutes or whatever, we never been on the court together at the same time. So we did enough good things to win, but certainly it wasn't the prettiest. And I'm not leaving out here elated in any other way other than that. We just won the game.
Bill, second half had a Dotson second half stretch where he kept getting to the basket.
Yeah.
You run a play where you bluff a screen to him, throw it back to Marcus. Marcus gets the post pin to Doak. How much better are you guys getting at just finding Doak and then I mean, what do you stress?
I thought
to
the
them on
first
day?
half, I mean, I sensed Doak's frustration. I thought he was open. I thought he was open 2 or 3 times to get touches close, and we don't do a good job of getting it to him. It's not anyone's fault. It's just that we're not a great passing team, post-feeding team, and we got to get better at that. And I thought the second half, you know, we probably did a little bit better. Or after he came in, after his second foul, we did a better job of feeding him. And then some in the second half we did as well. But I mean, even when you look at it, he got post touches, but he still only shot the ball 7 times. I wish that number was 10 or 11, and I think we'd be a lot better.
Do those downhill drives help?
Yeah, the downhill drives help, and you know, it's kind of hard sometimes to manufacture just letting a guy shoot a right-handed layup. I mean, and you know, that's what we kind of try to do. And Dot is so fast; it's harder to guard than you think. Because he's even with you, he's ahead of you. So and he got even with some guys, and then was able to explode past them, which is certainly a credit to his ability to you know, change directions, change speeds.
And Bill, how do you think Doak should be viewed, like on a national scale, for his defense?
Well, you know, I think we have 2 players, in my opinion, even though we didn't play good defense today like we had, but we have 2 players, in my opinion, that would be in consideration for, you know, Big 12 Player of the Year defensively. I think it'll be harder for Marcus to get the national awards because there's more guards playing the game than there is bigs. But on a national scale with a big, I can't imagine that there's anyone out there that's better defensively than what Doak is. I'm not saying Doak's better than Marcus. It's just Marcus is competing against numbers where Doak probably isn't. So I think that Doak, to me, is as good a defender as there is.
Bill, kind of, what do you make of what do you make of Tennessee's team in this season they're having, kind of where they've been, where they might be headed now?
First of all, I you know, love is probably too strong a word. I love Rick Barnes. I think he's terrific. I've always loved competing against Rick's teams. I think that they're a little bit different, you know, in large part because Turner's probably not going to play, and you know, they got off to a pretty good start, as you know. I'm sure you cover them. So, and then they've gone through some rocky times, but in league play, after they've gotten the kid eligible, they've been, what were they, 4-2 coming into this game? Is that right? And today they played good enough. They could have won the game if, you know, if they had a few breaks late. So I like them. I tell you, the Fulkerson and Pons, you know, you can say, you know, Bowden obviously was great second half and everything, but Fulkerson and Pons do some things from an energy standpoint that, you know, I don't know if there's a lot of guys out there better at what they do. You know, Fulkerson offensive rebounding, and Pons make plays he can't coach, you know, because he can jump over people, and he certainly is an unbelievable rim protector. So I like their team. But they're relying on a guy that is going to be terrific, and he played pretty well today, obviously. That he was in high school 3 weeks ago, and now you're asking him to run your team. And so I would think the trajectory on them would be definitely an upward one, just because that's an awful lot to ask a young kid, and he's doing so well doing it already. What's he going to be like a month from now? So I think they're a team that's definitely going to continue to get better.
How much did you guys just need to play a game after kind of the week you guys have had?
I think we needed to. I thought today would have been the easiest game of the year to get up for with the week that we had, but also because of the environment and game day and all that stuff too. I thought that we had really good intentions. I didn't think we played to that enthusiastic, high energy level like we could have. The whole game plan was to try to pressure defensively, and Dot's leg's a little sore, and he couldn't get out there and do that. And so, if you don't do that with your, guy guarding the ball, usually you don't do it as much on the wings. And so we really never had a chance to probably play to what we wanted to do, just because of circumstances, nobody's fault. And so I thought it was a pretty blah performance when I thought we would be really, really turned up. So, but we needed to play a game. And the other thing, I'm tired. I'm tired, and at least right now, I'll be fine tomorrow. But the whole thing is, if I am, they probably are too. And so getting out of here at the W was probably just what we needed.
Bill, what did you think of Doak hitting the free throws after they fouled him on purpose?
I was really wondering. I think I could be wrong. You guys know better. It's like four and a half left.
4:19.
And we put him in, and Rick immediately puts the big fella in that only played a couple of minutes, and I'm like, what are they doing? And then it was obvious what they were going to do right after that, which, if you're going to do it, you want to do it when it's a 1-on-1 and not a 2-shot penalty. And so they did that, and that very subtly, that may have been the biggest play of the game, because it gave him confidence after making those two to go knock a couple more down, and it probably, even though they did it one more time, it probably eliminated them going after him and having that be a big part of their defensive strategy down the stretch. So I thought that's a big play. It was good for Doak to see it. He's worked so hard on his free throws, and even though, what was he today, 6 for 11, which a month ago we would have certainly sold out for that. But I feel now that he could be a 60 or 70% free throw shooter after watching him every day.
Did Peyton Manning speak to the team, and what'd you think? You met with him, didn't you?
Yeah, no, we didn't get a chance to. What I think?
Of him being here and all that.
He's tall, and looks like he's got a strong right arm. The thing everybody, how can you not be a fan just from his personality? Because he's a guy that, he can make fun of himself, and he's still the coolest dude around. And I've always find that such an admirable trait, but no, it was great to meet him. I've seen him around, but I really hadn't had a chance to talk to him like that. And he had a couple of his boys with him too that I had a chance to meet, and I actually went and I didn't have breakfast, but went and met Coach Fulmer at breakfast this morning too, at the most nutritious restaurant in town, The Wheel. And so I had a chance to talk to him, and so it was good. I for some reason I've always kind of felt a little bit connected with the people that were there and that are at Tennessee, and it was a great thrill for me to meet Peyton.
Bill,
But our players didn't get an opportunity to.
Udoka's played 30 minutes plus a bunch of games in a row until today.
Mm-hmm.
But how much is him getting in shape in the off season? Could he have sustained the level he's playing at lately?
No, I tell you, it's getting in shape in the off season, but there's a lot more to it. We don't practice long. He never comes out. I mean, it's like, hey, Doak, take a blow. No, I don't need to. I got to run. So even though he's seen the benefit of what conditioning can do. So and the thing about it is, it's at least if you've never been in great shape, you don't know what great shape is. And so you get to the point saying, no, I'm in good enough shape. I can do this. And then when you really can push yourself and do things that your body didn't think you could, or your mind didn't think your body could do, I think it plays obviously a big role in his confidence and everything like that. So yeah, he's worked his tail off. I mean, all our guys have worked hard, but certainly none has worked harder than Doak on putting himself to be the best version of he could possibly be.
We talked a few weeks ago about the personality on this team. You wanted to see more.
Yeah.
Did you see the WAG, and does that count?
I told him, you know, I'm being such a jerk, in some ways, but I want to see personality. But, you know, I don't want to see the WAG. I think the WAG is fine. I don't think the WAG was as good after, Tuesday. So, you know, it's kind of a fine line. You want guys to show personality, and they need to do that. But as long as it's not directed at anybody, it's fine, obviously. But I want guys to play with bounce and energy and smile and that kind of stuff. And I felt like we were kind of a little bit of a stress team out there today.
You mentioned expecting this to be the most juiced your team was for a game. Do you need that kind of the same effort on Monday against Oklahoma State? Can you just talk about that matchup a little bit?
Well, yeah, I guess Okie State had a great win at A&M today. So, and the lid came off the basket, you know, at Iowa State too, even though they didn't get the win. So, yeah, it'll be a hard game, especially playing, you know, only got 7 guys basically available. So, and we didn't really play 7 today. We only played 6 really. So, we got to be better than what we were today, and got to be a little bit more efficient. And I think we will be. Doesn't guarantee victory, but I think there's some things about today's game that we can learn from and definitely be better for.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Okay, guys, thanks.